Hi, welcome along to Sky Sports News at 5. Now, the former Tottenham owner, Joe Lewis, has pleaded guilty to a number of criminal charges in the US after he was charged with insider trading last year. Well, our chief reporter, Kaveh Solokol, joins me now. Kaveh, very good evening. Right, what happened in court today?
Well, the former Spurs owner, Joe Lewis, appeared in court in Manhattan today, and he pleaded guilty to insider trading. He had been charged with 19 counts, but in a plea deal, he pleaded guilty to 3 counts. The 3 counts were 2 counts of securities fraud and 1 count of conspiracy to commit securities fraud. Now, federal prosecutors had alleged that he'd passed non-public information about 4 companies to some of his associates. And these included 2 of his personal pilots, Brian Waugh and Patrick O'Connor, and also a former girlfriend called Carolyn Carter. Now, Mr. Lewis is 86 years old. He told the judge in the case that he had health issues, multiple health issues, he said. But he also said, "I knew at the time what I was doing was wrong, and I am embarrassed." So an admission of guilt. He said he's sorry, he apologised to the court, and he pleaded guilty to 3 counts. Now, in cases like this, normally, if you are found guilty, you could be facing up to 45 years in prison. But because he's done this plea deal with prosecutors and because of his age, I think his sentence will be drastically reduced. He will be sentenced in court at 3 p.m. in New York on the 28th of March.
Goodness. Should Tottenham fans be worried?
Well, let's make clear, Joe Lewis is no longer connected with Spurs. He has no involvement with Tottenham anymore. He is a former owner, but since the 5th of October 2022, he's not a person who has had significant control when it comes to the running of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. It is true that his family trust does own a majority of shares in Spurs.
OK. Credible fall from grace, this. A man who, from humble beginnings, reached the very top, and now he's here. It's kind of like a lesson to all, isn't it?
Well, I mean, an incredible story. This is a man who started off running his father's catering business in the East End of London. He turned that into a chain of restaurants. From there, he went into currency trading. He is now, I think, something like the 300th richest man in the world. He has a personal fortune of around £5 billion. He's got one of the most valuable collections of art in the world as well. In the 90s, actually, he left the UK to become a tax exile in the Bahamas. And, of course, everybody who's interested in sport knows him from his involvement in Spurs. But, of course, he stopped being the owner of Spurs in October 2022.
Interesting stuff. Kaveh Solokol, our chief reporter, thank you very much.